30 years ago, the word Chernobyl became forever linked with nuclear disaster. We'll tell you how that legacy is changing. Secretary of the U.S. Army has issued a challenge to commission 50 megawatts of new combined heat and power projects annually over the next 4 years. And the chief editor of Renewable Energy World joins me for today's Inside the Industry. It's Wednesday, November 30th, and this is Power Today. Hello and welcome to Power Today for Wednesday, November 30th. I'm Cassie Haley. We begin today's edition of Power Today in Ukraine, where 30 years ago the word Chernobyl became forever linked with nuclear disaster. Fast forward 3 decades and a new emphasis on renewable power generation, and now the Chernobyl exclusion zone has been judged an ideal location for a large solar photovoltaic project. China-based GCL System Integration Technology Company and state-owned National Machinery Industry Corporation are to develop the 1 gigawatt project on the site that was once the scene of a nuclear reactor meltdown. Ostap Samarek, Ukraine's Minister of Environment and Natural Resources, said, "Its cheap land and abundant sunlight constitute a solid foundation for the project. In addition, the remaining electric transmission facilities are ready for reuse." CCEC will serve as the general contractor and manage the overall project, while GCL SI will offer consultancy and planning services as well as solar equipment to the project. According to GCL SI, construction of the solar plant is expected to begin in 2017. Xu Hua, chairman of GCL SI, said in a statement, "There will be remarkable social benefits and economical ones as we try to renovate the once damaged area with green and renewable energy. We are glad that we are making joint efforts with Ukraine to rebuild the community for the local people." Reuters reports that the old reactor at Chernobyl is set to be covered by a steel arch in 2017, and the land surrounding is now considered safe enough for agricultural use. In other power news, Secretary of the U.S. Army Eric Fanning has issued a challenge for the Army to commission 50 megawatts of new combined heat and power projects annually over the next 4 years. There are potentially many locations and situations where the Army could conserve fuel and save energy by installing CHP to create hot water rather than operating local generators and boilers. The technology also offers an alternative to the regional electrical grid and can ensure that mission-critical functions on installations are maintained even in the event that access to the regional electrical grid is severed. At a conference in August, Fanning said the Army plans to double its CHP production in the next 2 years and to triple it in 4 years. We're going to take a short break. When Power Today returns, the chief editor of Renewable Energy World joins me from her East Coast office. Inside the Industry is up next. Stay with us. From December 13th through 15th, thousands will be in Orlando for the largest power industry show in the world, PowerGen International 2016. Hello, I'm Cassie Haley, host of the daily power news and information show, Power Today, and I'm here to tell you about a great way to get your message to the PowerGen audience. At this year's show, I'll be conducting content interviews with a select group of companies and thought leaders who recognize the importance of video in marketing their message. These one-on-one interviews will be featured on Power Today and will then be made available to use in any way you'd like. Power Today airs daily across a broad variety of Penwell sites, including Power Engineering, and has become a known and respected brand within the world of power. We take pride in keeping the power industry informed and telling our viewers about the exciting stories, people, and companies that are moving the industry forward. This is your opportunity to reach the ideal audience and to make sure your message is heard. I've been speaking with Bill Newsom today about Mitsubishi's J-Series gas turbine, the M501J. There is limited time available to schedule your PowerGen interview, so please don't put off locking in what could be your best marketing investment of the year. I'm Cassie Haley. I look forward to speaking with you at PowerGen International. Welcome back. Jennifer Runyon is the chief editor of Renewable Energy World and a respected voice in the world of renewable energy. She recently joined us via Skype from her East Coast office to talk about women in power. Here's today's Inside the Industry. Welcome to Inside the Industry. We're joined again today by Jennifer Runyon. Thanks for joining us, Jennifer. Why don't you catch us up on the world of renewables?
Thanks so much for having me, Cassie. It's great to be back to talk to you a little bit about what's going on. So, as you might imagine, the renewable energy industry is still very unsure about what to expect under a new Trump administration, although there's a few glimmers of hope here and there, and one is really centered around the grid. Trump has said that he would like to upgrade infrastructure, and the U.S. electrical grid is in dire need of being upgraded. We need better grid infrastructure to bring that wind power to the people. We've been building lots of wind farms in the U.S., and we need, frankly, more of it and more transmission lines to get that power where it needs to be. We also need better interactive transmission. So that's where, or really on the distribution side, so that's where someone with solar power on their home can feed energy back into the grid. The utility can see that energy coming, manage it well, and all of that is ripe for renewal and for help with infrastructure upgrades. So there's some hope there that the Trump administration could actually do some good benefit for renewables. But what I really want to talk to you about today is another hat that I wear, and that is as the chair of the Women in Power Committee here at Penwell Corporation. And so the Women in Power Committee was formed in 2013 as a way to recognize women who have worked in this very male-dominated industry for a really long time. And so each year we have our small committee of women, which ranges from about 10 to 14 women. We ask the industry to nominate women in the industry who they respect, admire, who have done great works. And each year we name a Woman of the Year, so a Power Gen Woman of the Year. We do that at our annual Power Generation Week conference, also known as Power Gen.
Which is coming up very soon, right?
Which is coming up December 13th through the 16th. And so we've just now named our finalists. I'd like to let you know who they are. We have 3 Women in Power finalists. The first is Sherry Blauwickel. She's the Executive Director of Black & Veatch's Global Shared Services for the Power and Oil and Gas business lines. She oversees 2,300 people. She's got quite a powerful job. We're really pleased to honor her as one of our finalists. Our second finalist is Roxanne Laird. She's with Southern Company. She's the Director of the National Carbon Capture Center, and she manages 200 employees. Also has been working in the industry for a very long time. Roxanne was actually a finalist last year, and her colleague won at the time. So she's been nominated again by a whole different person, someone else who admires her, and she's also made it to our list for our finalists. So good luck to her. Our last finalist is Caroline Wynn. She is the Chief Energy Delivery Officer for San Diego Gas and Electric, another really big job. After she was nominated, she was actually named to be the incoming Chief Operating Officer for San Diego Gas and Electric. Really big role in the industry. All 3 of these women will be at Power Generation Week at Power Gen. During our keynote, we'll announce which one of them is our Woman of the Year. And immediately following that keynote, which again is on December 13th, we will have our Women in Power luncheon where these 3 women will participate in a panel discussion about what it's like to work in an industry like this.
I definitely look forward to that announcement and will be in attendance at that luncheon. Can't wait to hear from these women. Can you tell me what the actual increase of women in this industry has been over the last several years?
Yeah, so our winner last year had such a really staggering statistic where she said that when she was in engineering school in the 70s, I believe it was, the number of women engineers in her program, it was at 7%. Today, it's at 9%. It's really sad. Women are not going into this industry, and we need them. I mean, frankly, we need diversity. We need everybody's input. When times are changing, we need all the great ideas out there. Again, that's why we formed our Women in Power Committee, and that's why we look forward to naming these women finalists and naming our Woman of the Year.
Yes. Well, it's a wonderful group, and I hope there's a big presence at PowerGen this year. Thanks for joining us again, Jennifer. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks so much, Cassie. I look forward to seeing you again.
And thanks for joining Inside the Industry. That's going to wrap things up for us on Power Today. You can link to the show at powertoday.tv, and you can follow me at @CassieHaley on Twitter. For everyone at Power Today, have a great day. We'll see you back here tomorrow at noon, 11 Central.